And I saw Venezuela again. I saw battleships all around Venezuela. And the Lord said, this is more than drug trafficking. He's trying to cause a front, to cause a pause in the BRICS system. So the BRICS, like I told you, was reaching out to Venezuela, to Cuba, to North Korea, to these other nations to build a strong BRICS, giving them an olive branch of peace, of saying, listen, you join up with us and we'll give you financial liberty out from underneath the United States sanctions. You join oil with us, you do business with us, and we'll give you a head seat at the BRICS table. So Trump knew this, and he was saying, no, we're going to put these battleships there, we're going to cause confusion, we're not going to let that happen, right? Taking down this guy, trying to cause confusion in Venezuela, trying to do this. But it was a front trying to stop it to keep the safe face of the dollar for this season. As Russia and China and all these others were trying to reach out to Venezuela for the oil wealth because they needed oil, economic resources to back the BRICS to make it stronger. Oil with Venezuela, oil with Saudi Arabia, whoever they were trying to get, or, you know, in the Middle East, and trying to do all this stuff, trying to build the BRICS up. Putin has had an upper hand trying to make alliances with strategic countries for the last 4 years. And I saw Cuba, and then you'll hear this, I saw Venezuela, I saw for the oil wealth in Venezuela, I saw like a communist party rising up with Putin. I saw them secretly meeting with Egypt and a lot of the OPEC nations and China, trying to combat with the BRICS a new global currency with their coalition over here. And then, I'm going to Venezuela, and I see Venezuela being promised things. Oh, and I'm now in Cuba, and I see Cuba being promised things, and I see alliances of Cuba, Venezuela, and the countries that have been like outcast. Putin is not bluffing. What he's doing in the background with Kim Jong-un, Cuba, Venezuela, he's creating alliances, strong alliances for a major war ahead. Remember this. The other part of the vision from last night was Venezuela. And I saw Venezuela, and I keep seeing he will be like a Saddam. Show that picture. They look a lot like they could be brothers. I thought that was kind of interesting. But I saw freedom coming and a new government coming into Venezuela. What is it? Whenever you are a proxy government coming in, and the people of Venezuela having more freedom to be able to do what they want to do. But it was the Lord showed me all these oil derricks. And the Lord said, it's not all about drugs. 10%, but 90% is about the oil and BRICS. And I saw a Gaddafi. I saw a Saddam like man, like this man, in the days ahead, becoming overthrown. Now, if it's his own government that does it, I don't know. Or if it's the United States, I don't know. But I saw a major, like a revolution, like a shaking coming to this nation. Trouble in Panama concerning the trafficking. The Panama Canal. Drug trade routes. It's concerning China. Venezuela. An escalation of things in Venezuela. Just like it was with Iraq and Saddam. An overthrowing of a power. I see an overthrowing of power of a dictator with the slick hair. I hear the word Gaddafi. A removing of a tyrant to have revival within it. A disable it. For you'll see, I see Putin coming to the aid of Venezuela. This could be a powder keg for a greater escalation of war. You see, I'm seeing this. I see TNT. I see those barrels like on those cartoons of TNT, and it's wrapped around, and it says TNT, and it's exploding, and there's a fuse and a match, and the fuse is getting shorter and shorter. The fuse is getting shorter and shorter concerning Venezuela. And Russia is a part of this. They want to extend the olive branch of peace to BRICS. This is not innocent by our part in escalation. Drugs. There's bigger. It's about the oil. I hear oil. We must put a kink in the hose. I hear. We must put a kink in the hose. I see a kink in a water hose. For strategic allies concerning Putin. And this is concerning a darkness upon Cuba for the electric grid. I see problems with the infrastructure and the electric grid by design. Cyber attacks because they're getting out of line. Cracking of a whip. But the traffickers and the MS-13, there's gang lords. I see these gang lords in this. And there's Santa Maria. There's great witchcraft wrapped into this. I see it with the candles, with great gang lords and drug smuggler. They're using them. Ooh, that's dark. Cuba. This is demonic religion there. It's a stronghold there. But God wants to bring a great river of his presence there. And bring revival all over Cuba. And spread. Oh. Remember the Cuban Missile Crisis. Don't forget the Cuban Missile Crisis. Trump. Russia. Old alliances. Old friendships. I see a darkness on Cuba. It's dated already, so it's not hard for the infrastructure of their grid. It's not. It's old. Things. I see an extension cord again from Russia to Cuba, and it's under the water. This is symbolic. It's under the water. It's a black cord. It looks like an internet cord going from Cuba to Russia. A secret cord in the water. It's deep in the water. The woman in Mexico. There's so much corruption in so many governments all around. This is very how you got in power in the first place. But there's keys to her to Venezuela. And it goes from Venezuela to her to Cuba. And they traffic the people through these tunnels. And the drugs come up through their tunnels. Great corruption in the Hispanic government. It's Claudia. Remember this though. Venezuela will be like an Iraq if it keeps going this way. Yep. Venezuela will be like Iraq. That's what I keep hearing. But Russia will step in. Other nations. Little Kim. Because they all have a plan. That's what I told you. They're holding their cards. Waiting for Trump to be done with his term. But for whatever reason, I saw America trying to have a regime change in Venezuela. Trying to influence to get rid of the man with the black hair slicked back. I saw the same way they did Saddam. They will try to do this man with the slick hair. Slick hair guy.
Yeah, Nicholas Maduro.
Yeah, Nicholas. I saw it be just like similar to Saddam. And it's oil, 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 oil. Remember that. Oil, 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 oil. He kept saying that. Well, I heard in the spirit realm that many times. Oil, 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 oil. And it's to block them from joining the BRICS. Because they don't want them to join the BRICS. To back the BRIC nations. Because they have oil, 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 oil. And it will get them around the Western sanctions and all the things that they can try to suppress them. Because they're corrupt. Look, they have a bad government. They do. The way they do their people. There's a lot of witchcraft there, what I just saw. A lot of witchcraft in their nation. And what was interesting was as I was looking in the spirit over Venezuela, there was a line of dirt, but then there was a haze of witchcraft above it that looked like a fog. But it was a satanic, demonic fog that was over the land that was probably about, so you had, I could see the dirt and I could see tropical, but as the dirt went up, I could see a demonic fog that was resting on the nation that looked like it was probably about 3 or 4 foot thick, but it was resting on all of the nation. And it was, I've never been to Venezuela, but I'm telling you, it looked jungly. It looked like a tropical, but but it had a demonic layer across the nation with witchcraft. And it's oppressed the people. So I don't know if there's a lot of occult there, but that's what I saw. A lot of occult on the land. But then when I saw his face, I saw Saddam. Does it make sense? Like they were like paired, like twins, like brothers, like twins, but they're not brothers. But that's the way the spirit. We must pray for Venezuela. An escalation of war is at the shore. Keep our hand out of that. Oh, it's a game of chess, all of it. It's how do you stay top? How do you stay the winner? How do you stay the reserve currency of the world? How do you stay the world's reserve currency of the world? Strategic allies to Russia with the BRICS. BRICS get stronger. What backs BRICS? What does Venezuela have? Venezuela has oil. Venezuela has agriculture. I don't know. I'm not familiar. All I keep seeing is oil derricks. All I keep seeing is big oil, those big ones in the ocean. I see massive, I'm talking massive oil. Big money in oil is what I keep seeing right now. And they're the ones out in like in the Gulf of America. You see the big oil rigs. Oil rigs, thank you, baby. That's what I see around Venezuela, big oil rigs. And this has to do with the BRICS. A destabilization of the dollar is what they plan to do. But it's not just about drugs. It's not just about trafficking. It's the same thing with Little Kim. But he's crazy rocket man. And that's why they don't try to push him too much, because he's a crazy rocket man. It's surrounding him, and it's surrounding strategic allies concerning the BRICS with China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, Venezuela, Cuba, the unwanteds. Certain countries in Africa and even Afghanistan